I would like to call the July 11, 2019 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Margraff.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
No. Approval of minutes of July 6, 2019 and July 13th, 2019. June 6th and June 13th, 2019. I have read June 6th. No, June 13th. June 6th is good.
Okay, I'd like to approve the minutes of June 6, 2019, and what are we doing with June 13th? Defer the reading of June 13th, 2019.
And I'll concur. Item A, bid opening multi-use trail project from 700 feet north of the Grand Calumet River along Soul Avenue to Torrance Avenue. There are 4 bids, the first one being from Walsh and Kelly, Griffith, Indiana. Okay, where's 2 of them? You have their bid. Bid bond. Non-collusion affidavit. And their Form 96, and their bid price is, the bid price is $459,960.44. Second bid is from Dyer Construction Company, Dyer, Indiana. Have their bid bond. Form 96. And where is it? And their non-collusion affidavit, and their bid price is $372,731.61. Next bid is from Gary Up Construction Company, Gary, Indiana. Okay, bid proposal. Bid bond. Non-collusion affidavit. And where's their Form 96? And their Form 96, their bid price is $399,700. Final bid being from Grimmer Construction, Highland, Indiana.
This last one?
Yes.
Yes.
Bid proposal, bid bond, non-collusion affidavit, as well as their Form 96, and their bid price is $448,855.82. I will entertain a recommendation to submit these to engineering for tabulation and recommendation.
And I'll make that recommendation.
And I'll concur. Oop. That's it for the bids. Okay, item B. Request for advertising dates of August 1st, 2019 and August 8th, 2019 with a bid opening date of August 22nd, 2019 for the demolition of 7117 Carolina Avenue front, 4414 Clark Avenue, 244 Detroit Street rear, 1020 Drackert Street front and garage, 1242 through 44 Hoffman Street, 4339 Holman Avenue rear and garage, 4619 Holman Avenue, 1344 Indiana Street front and garage, 2021 Lake Avenue, 1940 Lincoln Avenue front and garage, 7728 Linden Avenue front and garage, 244 Marble Street, 903 Morris Street garage only, 1509 Myrtle Avenue front, 4144 Sheffield Avenue front, 629 Sibley Street, 1251 Stanton Avenue front, and 544 Waltham Street front. Recommend approve the dates.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation that we approve those dates.
And I'll concur. Item C, correspondence received from ICC requesting permission to close the intersection of Calumet Avenue and Conkey Street on July 24th, 2019 from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. to erect the Erie-Lackawanna Bridge crossing the intersection.
Good morning.
Mr. Buck.
Thank you. This contractor is working on behalf of the Indiana Department of Transportation and the City of Hammond for our pedestrian bridge project. They felt that it would be in the best interest of the city and the contractor to go ahead and request a road closure to erect the main center span of the bridge. It's about a 200-foot long span that crosses from the northwest corner to the southeast corner of Calumet and Conkey. And so in an effort to be safe, we asked that this be closed. They've coordinated with the Indiana Department of Transportation to close the highway. There's a traffic control plan that we have reviewed and agree with, and we tried to make sure this was coordinated after the festival so that there would be no conflict. And so we would recommend your approval on this action that has already been approved by the state.
So they're gonna take care of all of it, Dean? Our police department won't have to be involved, or EMA?
Oh, yeah, we'll need EMA and.
We're gonna be there also. They're gonna do the major shutdown,
Right.
Captain, but I'm gonna have my guys out there just to make sure that the inner workings closer to the scene itself, around Calumet and Conkey, that nobody affects that area.
Okay, I just, are we gonna close it at Calumet and 165th? Is that what we're gonna?
No, that's the truck detour, 65th to the Boulevard, to Chicago, to Calumet. Then there'll be a local detour for the locals to find their way around, but there'll be a hard closure at Conkey Street or the streets immediately south and north of that. There probably won't be any need for any patrol traffic, patrol units on the site, because they'll do a hard closure. And there'll be, but we'd appreciate EMA's
Yeah, we're definitely gonna
assistance
be there.
just to make sure that they're, that everything's good.
Okay. Then I'm gonna make a recommendation that we approve that request from my ICC.
And I'll concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item D, correspondence received from Councilman Bill Emerson Sr. requesting $66,200 of gaming funds be allocated for the design and supervision contract with First Group Engineering, roadway, mill, patch, and resurfacing of Holman Avenue from 165th Street to the Little Calumet Bridge.
This is a project where we're seeking state funds. It's a 50-50 match fund called Community Crossings Grant. We haven't been awarded that amount yet. Those applications are due at the end of August. But we're doing this work in anticipation of that award. At some point, we expect to be awarded. We missed a cycle. We were denied the last cycle, so we pretty much expect that we'll be in the next approved cycle by NDOT because they try to make sure the money's spread around the state pretty well. And so we asked Councilman Emerson, who has been vocal about this stretch of Hammond, to get it resurfaced. So it'll be 50-50 match. The councilman's coming up with the design and supervision, and we would look to seek to have the match come from either the rainy day fund, which has been used in the past, or some shared gaming.
All right, the request has been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to accept Councilman Emerson's request.
And I'll concur. Item A, agreement with First Group Engineering for design and supervision in the roadway mill patch and resurface of Holman Avenue from 165th Street to the Little Calumet Bridge approach.
That's the previous action that was, money was set aside. This is the contract.
Okay,
I'll make a recommendation to approve the contract.
and I'll concur. Item F, correspondence received from Councilman Scott Rakos requesting $30,000 of gaming funds be allocated for the 2019 road maintenance program. This request has been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
I recommend we accept Councilman Rakos' request.
And I'll concur. Item G, correspondence received from Reith Riley Construction Corporation Incorporated advising of single full closure on Indiana Toll Road on 112th Street at the ITR Bridge over 112th Street from August 5th, 2019 through August 12th, 2019.
Engineering's reviewed this request. This is to straighten the bridge beam that was struck by the Vector truck several months ago, and we would recommend your approval of this action.
Okay.
No, it's during the week. Okay, so can we defer action then? I'm sorry.
Okay. Do we have a
Thank
date?
you.
Do we have a date in mind?
Next week, you want to defer just
Defer
1
to
week?
next week,
1
yeah. We'll sort out the date, the time frame better. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Festival Lakes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to defer this, I make a recommendation, we defer this till July 18th, 2019.
And I'll concur. Item H. Access agreement with the Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District, NICD, for access to city right-of-way to perform soil borings.
Mr. President, this is a request from NICD. You had a similar request a couple weeks ago. This is to allow them to do vertical boring only for environmental reasons. These are on properties that they intend to acquire for the Westlake Corridor Plan. These are a couple properties, I think there's 2 or 3 on this access agreement that are owned by the city.
So we're just approving them?
We would request approval, yep.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation, we approve the access agreement with Northern Indiana Commuter.
And I'll concur. Item I, correspondence received from NICD requesting permission for temporary road closure to make track repairs at Torrance Avenue from July 29, 2019 to August 12, 2019.
This request has been reviewed by the engineering department, and as you probably know, we have an ongoing construction project on Torrance Avenue for a new bicycle trail in that section. I have coordinated with the contractor. It should not be a problem, so we would recommend your approval of this action.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation that we approve the request from NICTD.
And I'll concur. Item J, correspondence received from Grimmer Construction, Inc., requesting lane restrictions on 167th Street from Indianapolis Boulevard to Woodmart Avenue from July 11, 2019 to August 15, 2019 for 167th Street North sidewalk repair.
This is a third district sidewalk improvement project. Councilman wanted a new sidewalk to be installed between Tanglewood and the sports complex near the Hudamaki site. And so the low bidder was Grimmer. We have reviewed this request, suggested a couple of modifications. They have agreed, and so we recommend your approval on this action.
Okay. I recommend we approve the correspondence from Grimmer Construction.
And I'll concur. Item K, change order number 2 received from Beam, Longest, and Neff to remove the foundation of a light pole on Calumet Avenue and install a new junction box with an increase in cost of $2,486.87.
This project relates to the Erie-Lackawanna Bike Trail Bridge project we spoke about earlier. The street lighting department had requested that a foundation be, a light pole foundation be removed. The light had been down. It's almost directly underneath the bridge, so it's not needed at this time. There's additional lighting on the bridge that will replace that. This is part of the NDOT shared project 80/20, so our net cost to this is 20% of that, so it's what, $500 is the net effect to the city. We've reviewed this request. It basically came from us, and we would recommend your approval of this action.
Okay. I'm going to make a recommendation to approve the change order.
And I'll concur. Thank you. Item L, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 1250 Hoffman Street.
Mr. President, this is a little bit different than our usual rehab agreements in that instead of us already having a demolition order on this property, this is one that would have been up for a demolition order, but because Mr. Rhodes is going to purchase it, he has a very good track record with the city on rehabbing properties. We felt it appropriate to allow a rehab agreement to take place, and actually it kind of benefits the city as well, because we will have it under agreement if you approve it today, and that kind of saves us time from going through the demolition process on this property. And he's agreed to enter into this order after an inspection by Mr. Luter. I believe Mr. Kearney's here also recommending approval. He hasn't closed on it yet, but he's going to close it under Dunlap Properties LLC. He has signed it, and he's going to provide us proof of title as soon as he closes. So I'll give this to you.
Okay.
He has already signed it, and we request approval.
Okay. I'm going to make a recommendation that we approve the agreement.
And I'll concur. Item M, bid recommendation received from United Consulting for 139th Street reconstruction to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation.
Hi. Engineering has reviewed this bid recommendation from a opening that you did, I believe, last week, and we recommend approval of this action for First District reconstruction.
Should I announce what the price is? The low bid price for the project is $139,192.38.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to make a recommendation that we approve the bid recommendation.
I'll concur. Item N, bid recommendation received from United Consulting for the First District Lighting Project, Maiden Lane, Roosevelt Drive, Hammond Court, Burton Court, and Torrance Avenue to Midwestern Electric Incorporated.
Engineering has reviewed this bid recommendation, and we agree. Councilman Kowinski is not available at this point, but we'll make sure that he's agreed to it in principle. We just need to get the green sheets pulled together for this and the earlier project. So we'll make sure we get those approved at the next meeting.
So we're good to, The lowest bid price for Midwestern Electric was $555,012.02.
And I'll make a recommendation to approve that.
And I'll concur.
Thank you.
Item O, correspondence received from A-Plus Construction and Plumbing requesting permission to install new water service at 38 Condit Street.
Engineering's reviewed this request and recommend its approval.
Okay, I recommend that we approve the correspondence.
And I'll concur with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item P, Corporate Partner Program Services Agreement with Enterprise Holdings.
Mr. President, this is an agreement that was negotiated by Donna Muta with Enterprise. It usually comes about in terms of us renting vehicles for Festival of the Lakes. However, this is going to be an agreement that will be good citywide, and it allows a fleet pricing for any department that may need a rental of a vehicle for any purpose. So it's actually going to benefit the entire city. I'd recommend approval.
Okay, I'll make that recommendation that we approve that.
I'll concur. Item Q, termination of existing license agreement between Speedway, 7345 Kennedy Avenue, and the City of Hammond. This looks like it was probably from HDM. So they're abandoning their monitoring wells. Good. Yeah.
I'm just gonna, I'll make a recommendation to approve the termination of the license.
And I'll concur. Item R, correspondence received from Councilman Dave Wolpel requesting $25,000 of gaming funds be allocated to the Park Department for summer park activities and improvements. The request has been signed by the councilman as well as Mayor McDermott,
I recommend we approve Councilman Werpel's request.
and I'll concur. Item S, correspondence received from Click Fix requesting residential parking only or no parking on Roosevelt Drive by the bike trail. I would recommend that we send this to Gary Gleason.
Just the streets.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation that we forward this request to Streets for their approval.
And I'll concur. Yeah, that's a good first step.
I just don't know which one we're gonna go with.
Yeah. Item T. Quite ostentatious. Item T, disposal authorizations received from the Hammond Police Department.
Well played, sir. Well played. That was good. Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation, we approve the disposal authorizations from the police department.
And I'll concur. Don't have to worry about that no more. Item U, status hearing on property located at 227 Chicago Street.
At this point, the cleaning project is, pretty much came to a halt because the owner, after speaking to his attorney, Scott Yanni, has been approached by NICTY, and it seems like NICTY is ready to purchase the property, and they have been aware through HDM of the necessary cleanup and take action, and it's my understanding they are prepared to do that. So it's kind of at a standstill at this point until they actually close on the property with NICTY. So, and that, just from experience, could be a while, but NICTY has information, and I'm sure is going to come up with a game plan to clean that property before they move forward.
How far ahead do you think we need to?
I would say 90 days would be a good time for status.
I'm gonna recommend that we set this.
Oh, October, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make a recommendation, we set this for October 24th, 2019 for status hearing.
I'll concur. Sorry. Very good. Item V, specific finding of fact and decision regarding property located at 550 173rd Street, 2 units and 3843 Sheffield Avenue.
Mr. President, these are properties that the Law Department has reviewed and has believed that they've come into compliance and request the findings be entered as presented. Affidavits, I believe, have also been reviewed and given to Lynn through the Law Department.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation that we approve the findings.
Y'all concur? Item W. Item W, rental registration hearing on property located at 5933 Wallace Road and 5935 Wallace Road.
Yes, hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name and your address.
My name is Almaz White, W-H-Y-T-E.
And Ms. White, are you the owner or property manager of 5933?
I'm a property manager.
You're property manager?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have the owner as Mile N Group LLC.
That's correct.
This is a 2-unit. It failed to register 2017, 2018, 2019. We did have an issue with one of the units with the electrical issues. As of 2 days ago, it did pass the final electrical inspection. So we're just looking at both units for 2017, 2018, 2019. We are now looking for
I had some personal problems. My brother was sick. I had to take care of him in Maryland, and then I had to bury him in Ethiopia. So that's the reason. It's not because I forgot. I just have been having personal problems, and I wasn't here for the most part. And so that's why. So I wish you could
Is it 1 unit
take it
each?
into consideration.
2 units each?
no, it's
2 units total.
Total.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a recommendation that we waive the late fees. Ma'am, you will have to register those both units at a cost of $5 per year at the end of today's meeting, if you'd like.
Yes,
I would tell you, you have to make sure that this doesn't happen again, though,
it
okay?
won't happen again, I promise you. Thank you
My
so much, sir.
recommendation.
Thank you.
Y'all concur? Thank you. Page 3. Did that sound like Paul Harvey? It was a curveball there. Item X, rental registration hearing on property located at 2703 162nd Place and 7575 Kentucky Avenue.
Please state your name and your address.
George Vogren, property manager, Midwest Rental Solutions. This one property, just as a correction here, it's
7525.
it's 7525 Kentucky Avenue, not 7575. At the last meeting that I was here, we were to get a coordination between the tenant, building department, and the contractor to have a final inspection. We weren't able to connect on all the schedules, so we're working to get that accomplished. So we didn't have the final inspection yet.
Okay, what we have is, let's start with 2703 162nd Place. It is registered for 2019. Was not registered for 2018, so we're looking for a rental registration for 2018. Water shows consistent usage all throughout 2018.
That wasn't brought up the last time. Some of these properties that we get, they're purchased one way or another, and they come into our business, and at one point or another, they determine that it's a rental. And I have no control over that. Sometimes it becomes a rental months after, so we don't normally make it a rental until we have somebody lined up to go there, so.
When did you purchase the property?
I don't have that with me, I don't know.
Was it 2018?
In 2000 when?
18?
Could have been before that, I don't know. Because we normally bring them in and rehab them, and
So
if we get too much money into them, we try to sell them.
If you purchased the property in 2018, did you have someone living there?
No,
Okay. Water shows consistent usage between 6,000 and 8,000 units
okay,
every couple months, so that tells us that someone has been living there.
okay. Well, I'll look into that. But sometimes we buy properties from other companies with somebody there. I'm not sure if this is one of those or not.
So we're looking for rental registration for 2018.
Any issues there before?
2703.
Okay, I'm gonna recommend that we waive the late fee for that year.
I'm going to look into it. I don't know.
You should, sir, because obviously somebody was there, so we're gonna have to figure that out. That's too much water to be used just for cleaning or something, so somebody was there. But I'm gonna recommend that we waive the late fee. You can register that at a cost of $5 at the end of today's meeting, okay, if you'd like.
I'll concur.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
7525 Kentucky. It looks like this property was also purchased in the beginning to middle of 2018. In April of 2018, electric service passed. Also, the end of April, the gas service passed. It was not registered in 2018 or 2019. Water is being used there as well.
No, I think I registered that one too.
We don't have anything on file for those years,
2019?
18 and 19.
I think I have 19. Brought it. I know it's on my list, and I think I paid it. I don't have my sheet with me.
Make sure I used it right.
Can I ask you, sir, how many other properties do you own in the city? Are you the property manager or the owner?
Property manager.
What's the name of the company that owns these properties?
Midwest Rental Solutions is the rental
Is it an LLC or an Inc.?
LLC.
And you're the property manager for them?
Yes.
And how many other properties does Midwest Rental Solutions LLC own in the city?
We may have 8 total.
8 total,
Something
including
like
these 2?
Yeah,
And are the other 6 registered?
yeah, yes. I think they're all registered. I think we paid like $50, $55 actually, so there's probably 11.
11?
Yeah, because I paid 5 out of my pocket for one of them.
You understand that once you become an owner of a property, you have 60 days to register it, right? You get that? I mean, you're an experienced property manager.
Well, yeah, we're learning as we're going along. Or I am, anyway.
Do you want to give him a chance to find those if he believes he paid them or?
I mean, what we had in our system is what we had. It wasn't registered in 18 or 19.
I'm fairly certain we registered 19. I don't know about 18.
Okay, I'm gonna recommend, sir, that we waive the late fee for the 2 years, but I am gonna say that if you own properties in Hammond, it should come as no surprise to you that you have to register those units.
Right.
So I will tell you that I hope that we don't see you again in the future, that this happens again, okay?
No, I understand.
Pay the $5 fee per unit at the end of today's meeting, if you'd like, and hopefully, like I said, this doesn't happen again, okay?
Right.
That's my recommendation.
I'll concur. Item Y, rental registration hearing on property located at 6430 Madison Avenue, 915 Chicago Street.
State your name and your address.
Yeah, I am Jose Luis Jaramillo. J. Luis Jaramillo. Jaramillo?
Jose?
Yes. Yeah, and I missed, the rental fee I missed, because it was a misinformation. I didn't know that I can do the rental, anytime, so.
Okay, property, let's start with 6430 Madison. New owner, Mr. Jose Jaramillo, as of 5/5/17. Was not registered in 2018 nor 2019. It was registered previous.
What happened in those 2 years, sir?
What's that?
What happened in 2018 and 2019?
And what property?
6430 Madison.
Oh, it was just, we use just for storage, but nobody lives there. Just use for you know.
Nobody lived there for those 2 years? That's what he said.
We have water usage.
Yeah, until November, it was rental and,
When did you move someone in?
no, I think November,
Of
yeah.
What year?
Of last year,
2018?
yeah, 2018.
So we're
Yeah.
looking for
Yeah.
rental registration for 2018 and 2019.
Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation that we waive the late fee for that. Sir, you know you have to register this
Yeah.
every year, correct?
Yes,
Okay, so you have to register for both those years at the conclusion of today's meeting at a cost of $5 per unit, okay?
okay.
Okay, that's my recommendation for Madison.
Dow concur.
915 Chicago, Mr. Jaramillo purchased February 27th, 2018, was not registered for 2018 or 2019. Per water, consistent usage since May of 2018. It's 1 unit.
They're both one unit.
And what was the date purchased?
He purchased February 27th, 2018.
And it was not registered at that time? No? Well, in that case, you know, it wasn't the name of it was transferred, you know, to my sister-in-law. And then it was transferred to me, but I rented until September of last year. That's when I started, you know, to rent.
You rented there
Yeah.
until September of
Until
last year?
September.
Okay, who lives at 8282 Buchanan in Maryville, Indiana?
I live there,
Okay.
yeah.
When did you purchase that property?
It was transferred in,
No, when did you purchase the Maryville property?
Maryville, 2006. By,
I'm doing one for 18. Okay, so you bought the property in February of 2018. Who lived there? Did somebody rent the place in 2018?
I think what he implied that is that he lived at
No, no, I-
915 Chicago.
I think that's the way he said it, but I don't think that's what he meant. I think he
No, I didn't live there.
Yeah.
It was one of my families. My sister-in-law, something like that, but when I started, you know, when it was into my name, you know, I rented in September.
What this seems like is it's been transferred in
Yeah, it
in
was
between the
transferred.
family throughout the years. So at one point, Mr. Jorge Jaramillo, is that your
And-
brother?
Yeah, my brother.
Owned it, transferred it over to Joyce
Yeah,
Feliciano?
exactly.
And was that
It was
the next year, and then the next year transferred it over to
exactly.
Mr. Jaramillo?
Why is it being transferred between the family so often? What's the
Well,
reason for
first
that?
of all, my brother transferred to his
I know it's been transferred, why? Why? Why has it been transferred? We know it's been transferred, but it's been transferred 3 times in 3 years. Why?
because I paid, you know, the money that I don't want to be in both, into the name of both persons, you know. Now it's just mine. It's not,
Okay.
yeah,
So so next year this property won't be transferred to some other family member?
no, no.
Okay, who's paying the taxes on it?
Both, my brother and me,
Okay?
Yeah.
And who lives there currently?
I am the owner.
No, who lives there?
We don't have anyone on file, he didn't
Okay,
register.
who's living there? Who's the tenant?
I don't got that name in here, but
Are you collecting rent every month?
yes.
Okay.
I collect.
Is it a family member or just a?
No, it's a different person.
Right. And is the ownership of the property in your name or a company name?
No, it's into my name. No.
Your name. Do you own any other properties in the city besides these 2?
Yeah, I
How many?
Like 4.
Four? 4 more or
18 and
2 and 2?
2 and 2.
Okay. And are those properties registered?
Yes, they are registered.
Okay, my recommendation is I'm going to apply the late fee for 2018. That's a cost of $500. I will waive the late fee for 2019, so you'll have to register that at $5. And you're gonna have to make sure, sir, that if this property continues to switch hands, that somebody knows that they have to come in and register the property. Okay?
Okay,
That's my recommendation.
thank
I'll
you.
concur. Thank you.
Excuse me, I found my receipt for the property.
This is different addresses, sir.
2703 162nd, 207525 Kentucky.
Okay, 19. That's for 2019.
Right, that's what we were talking about.
2703 162nd, you owed for 2018. We have you as for 2019. You owed for 2000. you didn't-
2018.
Right, you didn't register in 2018.
Okay, I don't know if it was a rental in 2018.
Well, we have a lot of consistent, so someone was.
Well, we were just saying, I was gonna look into that to see what that was all about.
Okay, that's fine.
It's already been decided, $5.
Right, we've already waived, I mean,
I have to pay for the 2018, you're saying? I thought you were saying 2019.
you have to pay for both, and if you can prove otherwise, then you won't, but for now.
Oh, I have the
we've already waived.
19 receipt.
Controller's office will handle it. So just show them that, and you won't have to register for that year,
So I should go downstairs and pay for 2018?
once you get the order.
Item Z, rental registration hearing on property located at 2510 White Oak Avenue.
Sure, how you doing? Just set your name and address.
Ricardo DeVoren, 2510 White Oak.
This is registered previous, just one unit, goes for 2019.
I just missed it by one day. I'm sorry, I missed the deadline. I won't let it happen again.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna make a recommendation that we waive the late fee.
Thank you very much.
At the conclusion of today's meeting, you can register for 2019 at a cost of $5.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll concur.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Appreciate it. You have a good day.
Item double A, rental registration hearing on property located at 6530 California Avenue. Mr. Hendricks?
6530, actually, can we postpone this to July 25th? I spoke to Mr. Hendricks yesterday, he's out of town working, but I did tell him that he did have to come in, so can we defer this to July 25th?
Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation that we, set this for July 25th, 2019.
I'll concur. Item BB, rental registration hearing on property located at 1174, 1176 Sibley Street.
State your name and address.
Gloria Patterson, 6140 Garfield Avenue, Hammond.
And this property was registered previous, just owes for 2019. It is one unit, even though it has a multiple addresses.
I was in the hospital at the time. I couldn't get out to get that registered.
Okay. I'm gonna recommend that we waive the late fee. Ma'am, you can register that at the conclusion of today's meeting at a cost of $5.
Thank you.
And just as a reminder, you can start registering in January, so don't wait all the way to April.
I didn't know that
Yeah,
until.
yeah, just for next year, yeah.
Item CC, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings. August 22nd.
Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation that we set those hearings for August 22nd, 2019.
And I'll concur. Item DD, amusement device listing for the week of July 8, 2019. There is one.
Make a recommendation, we approve the amusement device listing.
And I'll concur. Item EE, Correspondence received from Mr. Buddy Fenney requesting street closure at Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church for their 100-year picnic and historical marker presentation on Saturday, July 20th, 2019, beginning at 10 a.m., and speed limit signs posted on Kenwood Street.
Good morning to the board. I'm standing before you again. Not that I'm still employed by the city of Hammond, but I just want to know that Mayor McDermott is doing a great job. I'm here representing the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church this morning. It's going to be a great time in our picnic this year, where we're celebrating 100 years of being an organization of Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. We are expecting people from all over, even from the Progressive National Baptist Convention, from Indianapolis, Indiana, Historic Department from Indianapolis, and we want everybody that's doing nothing on that Saturday morning to join us to celebrate the marking of a historic building in the city of Hammond. I think we're the first black church that we ever organized in the city of Hammond. I think 8 people, they said about 8 people got together and needed a place to worship, and they would call it the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. So if you're not doing anything on that Saturday morning, July 20th, please join us and celebrate with us on that day. But the speed markers is for the children. We expect a lot of children out there that day. We're gonna have 3 bouncers out there and everything, so we don't want any kids to get hurt. So I drove around the city to make sure that Kenwood didn't have no speed signs on it. On Sunday morning, if you have some court out there, you would know that they passed through that stop sign in Howard and Kenwood. On Saturday, it'd probably be worse because they have nothing to do with driving up and down the street. So we're expecting some speed sign out there, slow down in this area, 1000 block and the 900 block of, 1000 block of Kenwood. If you can get some speed signs out there, be more than grateful. But join us, it's 100 year. Don't too many people make 100 years in the Baptist churches.
I'm sure Gary come up with something.
We don't want Kenwood block though, we want Howard South.
That's what I'm thinking,
But it
something
might
more.
be out of the festival that day.
Yeah, it's gonna be during the,
We
I
like
don't know
slow
that the
down.
temporary speed limit sign's gonna slow people down, it's not.
No. We have any like slow down signs or anything like that? Or we have it?
A sign saying slow for children.
Buddy, do you know how long it's gonna go from 10 a.m. to when? Do you have any idea how long it's gonna last?
Not a big old sign, it's something just out on the corner.
No,
I mean,
how long?
time
Like,
frame.
It's gonna start at 10. When do you think it'll be over?
It's gonna be over about 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I think what I'm gonna do, buddy, is I'm gonna have a squad car there
Okay,
to help with that. I think it'll accomplish a lot more than a temporary speed limit sign or a kids in play sign. So
Appreciate it.
10 a.m. to 4 p.m. that day.
Appreciate
I'm gonna
ya.
have a squad right there and with his lights going if necessary to slow people
Okay.
down, okay?
okay,
So that's my recommendation for that.
appreciate it.
And I'll concur.
And approve
Right.
also, sorry.
Thanks, Lord.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
That'll work.
I think that'll accomplish more.
I think you're right. This must be FF, I'm guessing. Item FF, correspondence received from Ms. Virginia Seljan, 1231 169th Street, requesting yellow striking be placed on the curb to mark the entrance of her driveway. Is Ms. Seljan here? No. Well, I would recommend we send this to Gary Gleason for his advisement on this. I don't know. Liability, but I know she's been asking.
Okay. I'm gonna make a recommendation that we forward this to Streets, more specifically Gary Gleason for his approval.
And I'll concur. Okay, all right, good. So that's gonna be streets, okay, Gary?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, item GG. Correspondence received from Ms. Trina Lee Schultz, 904 Cherry Street, requesting street closure at Rhodey Avenue and Cherry Street, July 13th, 2019, for a birthday party.
signatures.
I requested permission from my neighbor for closure of street. There's only one neighbor there?
I don't know that street location. I mean, she's got one signature from a neighbor, so I'm trying to picture that, how many houses are there?
I believe that part of the road has like one or two houses. It's not a full.
She makes it seem like that with one she said, I requested permission from my neighbor, like one, so.
So I think on either side of Brody is the parking lot, 4 flights, and then the other side is the bar itself. There's a residence in the bar.
Should I forward it?
We don't
It's
have
literally,
time.
I know.
It's Saturday, right?
Yep.
You know, should we do it, one of us do a drive-by there today and take a look, see?
Yeah. That's her number. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna drive by there today, and, take a look at it, and, do we make a decision after that, or do I call her? I'll call her and let her know, Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation, we approve it, pending me going there today and looking at the setup.
And I'll concur.
Let me put that number down. 333-9355. Okay.
Item HH, correspondence received from Mr. James Douglas, 218 Hanover Street, requesting street closure of the 200 block of Hanover Street, August 31st, 2019, from noon to 10 for a block party.
Good morning, sir. I'm James Douglas, representing the 200
welcome.
block of Hanover.
All right, give us a little backstory here.
We're all being bought out by the NICD project, and we want to have one last party as like a neighborhood, as a family. And that's why we came up with the idea on Memorial Day weekend, and the decision was made Labor Day would be a better time to have it than the 4th of July. And we're going to try to invite some of our old neighbors, and one of our former neighbors who's now living with his daughter is Matt Jakubczak. He's been there since 1957.
Alonda Baker on there?
Yeah, we gotta forward this to streets, right?
Yeah,
At least- Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation, we approve your request.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna forward it to streets,
Okay?
police department for their approval.
Right.
So, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Need some, it looks like you're asking for some things, so.
Yeah, a couple of picnic tables and that. I mean, we weren't guaranteed them, but just, I mean, not everybody in our block has a picnic table.
So have you reached out already or no?
I've been.
Public Works?
No, I was explained to get your approval first,
Okay.
then go to the Civic Center and drop off the approval, and they'll
Okay.
work on it.
Gotcha.
Well, you have all your signatures here, so.
Yes.
You have our approval.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll concur.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Item II, correspondence received from the First Baptist Church of Hammond requesting street closure of State Street and Oakley Street from Willow Court to Sibley Street, July 15, 2019 through July 18, 2019 for their annual youth conference.
We do it every year.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation that we approve the request from First Baptist Church.
and I'll concur. Oh, boy. Ooh-wee. Item JJ, garage sale permit submitted for approval. Oh, give me some, brother, I'm sorry. Give me half.
I'm going to make a recommendation, we approve the garage sale permits.
And I'll concur. Okay, item 6, matters from other board members. I do have a couple of items here. There is a request for a block party, 114th Street in Hammond, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on August 11th, 2019, for a birthday party. It appears as though she has the neighbor's signature on the form as well.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation, we approve the block party on 114th.
And I'll concur. Also, we have a request from AJ the plumber for some work, 3328 Orchard Drive. Has to remove a portion of the street to reconnect the new water service at the property.
Does that need to be okay by anybody? Engineering or anything?
It's already gone through now.
Okay. I'll make a recommendation to approve AJ the plumber's request.
And I'll concur. Also, we have a disciplinary matter concerning the police department. We will acknowledge the board is in receipt of that. And lastly, we have, I believe, oh, I'm sorry. That's all the matters from other board members. Matters from other department heads or their representatives. Department head? Okay, just give me a sec. I see no new business. Old business. We had a request a couple weeks back in regards to placing a banner on some street poles on Indianapolis Boulevard. We denied the request. The lady reminded us that we had approved it last year. But after further review, we found out that that was an oversight on our part, and so the denial will be brought forth, and we will let the lady know. Okay, that being all of old business, meeting's open to the public. Anyone here like to speak?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Tanika McBee. I'm here on behalf of Restoration Ministries Church at 6043 Holman Avenue. We are having a community outreach. Our missions department is doing a community outreach on August 10th. It's from 10 to 4, but we do need time for setup and breakdown. So I was requesting that the street be closed. We're doing it on our property, but there's a street on Detroit Street right in between. Of course, the church is on this side and the parking lot that we own is on the other side. So just that street right there before you get to the alley. So right off Holman at Detroit Street, right before you get to the alley. We don't need the whole block of Detroit.
And you're requesting that from what, like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that?
Yeah, maybe 8 to 8. We're gonna have a fire station, number 5 is coming with the fire truck. We're gonna have bouncy house for the kids and different aspects of the communities coming out, like the Boys and Girls Club, the Sportsplex.
I'm trying to think. So you just need a short section of Detroit Street closed off?
Yeah, probably
From Holman
right,
to the alley?
probably from Holman
Right.
to the alley, yep,
So you can cross back and forth?
exactly.
Okay, I don't see a problem with it.
No, me either.
We're gonna have to forward it to the streets and PD though.
And the date of this is?
August 10th.
Oh, August 10th. We got time.
Okay, we're gonna approve it.
Okay.
We do have to send it to streets and the Hammond Police Department for their approval.
Okay,
So, that's my recommendation.
Mr. President, I'd also request that the churches send a letter to Board of Works, if you could do that.
Okay.
And that way, then we'll have it as part of our file, just a request. Even though they're gonna approve it today, that way we'll just have it on record.
okay,
Yeah,
no problem.
with as much detail as you can put in it.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank
And I'll
you.
concur with that. Thank you. White Street, right?
Yeah. Just let me go from the church. Come on up.
Anybody else like to speak from the public?
Yes, hi, my name is Terry Johnson. I live at 7219 Beach Avenue. And my neighbors, one been there 47 years, the other been there 42, the other been there 37, and so on, 34. And what happened is I have a birthday party every year, and I always invite them. So I go knock on the door of all my neighbors that's in my section. And they all start coming, so then the older neighbors like, well, I don't even know them. And they've been in there 47 years, so they asked me to host a block party. So it'd be the first annual Labor Day weekend from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. The reason I'm gonna go to 10 because I'm gonna have a movie projection off of my garage in the back for kids. I'm gonna have bouncy houses, and I already passed out some of the flyers to some of the police that patrols our area. And I even got the fire department off 173rd right there too. I gave them some flyers, so they are aware that they able to come eat and do whatever they want to. So I'm gonna have it open. And I've got the majority of the signatures. I'm not asking for the whole block because we have some elderly that's sick, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right at the alley. Right, so if fire paramedics need to get in, they can get in and come through the back, and then we go into the next block, because that street is blocked off. It's the 7100 block to the 7300 block, and it's blocked off. I mean, it's a street that cuts in between, so we're not gonna go that far down.
Okay, you said Labor Day weekend, which day?
Yes, first and second, because on the first, everybody's gonna meet each other, and then we're gonna all start setting up. What we're gonna do is we're not gonna have anything basically in the street. We just wanna block it off in case kids out there, but most of the guys gonna have, one guy gonna put the bouncy house in his front yard, and then I got everybody, I don't want their grills in the street, I want them at the mouth of their driveway in case a patrol or paramedic had to get down, or fire department. So everybody's agreeing to that. So I got everybody's signatures and telephone numbers and addresses on my signatures.
Okay, can we see?
Yes, I even got a flyer attached to that.
Okay.
Can we have this?
Yes.
Great idea, man. Great idea, by the way.
Quite a few.
Yeah, because everybody need to know each other, because like I've only been living up here going on 4 years, but my fiance been up in our house for 13. And once I moved up, I helped the elderly because that was the way I was raised, I got, like, my neighbor been there 47, I shovel their walkway as soon as it's snowing, I'm out there every day, so.
So even though it's 71, 72, and 7300 blocks, you're only gonna, what are you wanting shut down? Which block?
Just between us, it's gonna be from a house to a house, it's not gonna be this.
What, do you know what houses, where that is? How much we talking?
It can't be,
Is it a half a block of one of those blocks? Is it a full block?
it's not even a half, because what it is the alley, when you turn off of 173rd onto Beach Avenue, it's a church there, so they take up some of the space, and then there's an alley. We're gonna go a house past the alley because that lady is a senior, paramedics always there, so we're not gonna block that house. And there's the police officer, I can't think of his name, I talk to him all the time, his mom lives right there at the alley. So we'll never block that, because the lady lived next door to her is the one that paramedics be at. And then on the other side when you cross over to 100 and the 7300 block, there's a paramedic and police are always down there because someone's always sick. So I'm not gonna go that far. So we're gonna cut it off, because if something happened between us, they could come through our gates off the alley. So I thought it out. I thought it out a whole year before I did it. They wanted me to do it last year, but I had to sit down and figure it out and work things out before I just address you.
Okay. Do you wanna drive by?
I will.
Before we approve it, or do you wanna approve it?
No, we can approve, but I'll do a drive-by, and if we have to juggle it, we'll get a hold of it.
Yeah, you can always stop at my house because I'm at home.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so for today, we'll approve it,
Okay.
pending Mr. President here taking a drive-by to see exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
And we'll also forward it to Streets and the Police Department for their approval,
Yeah, because I didn't know how to do it. My neighbor right directly across the street from me, he works for the street department, so he told me how to do it.
Okay.
So you're at 7219 Beach?
Yes,
You are? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And then the people that's 47, that's been there 47 years is on 7215, so one of us will be home.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's my recommendation.
And I'll concur.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, have a nice day.
You as well. Anyone else like to speak from the public? I'll entertain a recommendation to adjourn,
I will make that recommendation.
and I'll concur with that recommendation. Meetings
It's not to be
over.
ostentatious.